time. Provost Crosby, Chancellor Blumenthal, many old colleagues, or I should say colleagues from a long time ago, and friends. It was a great privilege for me 50 years ago when Dean McHenry asked me to say not only a blessing, but an invocation and a benediction at that first site inauguration. In fact, we actually sang a hymn, "O God, our help in ages past." And we wouldn't do that today. As I look back on my remarks, I'm a little embarrassed. There are a lot of these and thous. There's Latin, and also it's rather heroic phrases. But in my invocation and benediction, there were some words of vision that incorporated what many of us in the Santa Cruz community thought. Of course, they were better expressed by former Governor Pat Brown and the president of the university, Clark Kerr, but my remarks went like this, that my phrases was this, that we hope that this university would shape not only the destiny and future of this community, state, and nation, but in reality of the destiny and future of the world and beyond. And I think I even used the word universe. High hopes that we have. But as we stand here today, we know that all of our dreams and all of our visions have far surpassed our imagination in what has happened through the 100,000 alumni all over the world. And so we stand in awe of what has happened during these last 50 years. But we stand at the threshold of another 50 years, and I hope many, many, many more 50s. What are our hopes? What are our dreams? What are our visions? Now, originally I was asked to give a blessing, but then I was told a blessing is too much for the university to bear. So it's a reflection, and I served just for a year for old time's sake as the chair of the University Interfaith Council that represents all religious traditions, and even we have a secular student alliance. So how does one pray, or how does one give a blessing, or how does one do, a reflection? One of the spiritual practices that all religious traditions and people of faith who have no particular religious conviction that they prize is silence. And so at the ringing of this gong, once for the past, once for the present, and one for the future, let's pause for a moment of silent reflection so that the dreams that we had then and the dreams of McHenry and Clark Kerr and implemented by people like Paige Smith, Mary Holmes, Hal Hyde, who's here today, that those dreams continue to come true in the future. And now, before we pause for a moment of silence, permit me to give just one prophetic footnote. As I listened to the recording of 50 years ago, I was impressed by Governor Pat Brown's emphasis on free tuition.